Lieutenant, welcome to the program. Yesterday, Texas kind of just doubled down, did we not?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on, Glenn. So, yes, great to be with you and, of course, your listeners. So, as you mentioned, yes, state of Texas, we're not backing down. Governor Abbott made it very clear that the fight is not over with this whole situation at Shelby Park and Eagle Pass. I just got back from Eagle Pass last night to kind of get a rundown of what's happening and what's going to take place with this whole Supreme Court decision. And nothing has changed, at least on our end, with DPS and National Guard. We're still continuing with operations at Shelby Park. We still have restricted access to Border Patrol in that area. And in fact, National Guard is installing more barriers, more concertina wire, more fencing along the river to make it more challenging and try to discourage illegal border crossing. So Texas is not backing down, and we appreciate the support from everyone in Texas, as far as supporting what we're doing and what we've been doing for the last 3 years with border operations. So we're very thankful for that.
They claim that you are, and I love this, that you're making it more difficult for them to do their job. But I'm not sure what their job is if, razor wire and fencing, which is built to discourage people from coming across the water. I'm not sure what their job is. How is this holding them back from doing their job?
Well, it's all in a narrative, Glenn. Really, they're trying to portray, and I say they, I'm talking about the federal government and even some of those that have been critical of Texas, really trying to create this divide between, federal agencies and the state, which, they're trying to create some type of conflict that's non-existent. We still work great with Border Patrol, all the rank and file agents. The relationship has not changed. But it does not make their job difficult, for one, because we have soldiers, we have state troopers that are at that park that are working along the river. They can respond to situations. And if they come across people, any type of illegal immigrants, whether it be a family or child, they still turn them over to Border Patrol. So Border Patrol is still able to respond and process those individuals. We want to focus on those single adults that we are arresting right now for criminal trespass. But this whole concept that it's going to make their job more difficult, that's inaccurate. We look back in December in Eagle Pass, we had the largest influx of illegal immigration that we've ever experienced in the last 3 years. Every single Border Patrol agent in that sector was pulled from the field to process people. You had secondary checkpoints, Border Patrol checkpoints that were shut down because those agents were used to process. So now you have this free-for-all for all the criminal activity for human smugglers to take place. So now by us actually taking over this area, it allows those agents to get back to the field to focus on that criminal work that they want to do. They don't want to do administrative work. They want to be out in the field.
I want to make sure that we're not passing on any disinformation, but I am surprised at our federal government for not tracking this down. There is a video that is going around, and let me play it. Cut 4, please.
If you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're going to know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy.
Okay. Soon you're going to know who I am. Now, there's all kinds of things going around that say that this guy was in Guantanamo for, I think, 11 years and was released. However, we're looking at current pictures of the guy, and he's a lot older than this guy appears to be. But I don't know. Has anybody run facial recognition on this guy?
I saw that video circulate on social media, and I think that really shows, it's a clear example of the threats that are coming across our border, especially when someone is actually saying that you're going to know who I am soon. Those are the type of threats that we worry about, and that's the type of threats that are coming across the border right now. They're exploiting the current situation, but yet our own federal government is not doing nothing to stop it. And, of course, when Texas steps up, we're criticized for what we're doing because we want to stop that. We want to stop those public safety and national security threats. Just today, Border Patrol released that there was over 96,000 known gotaways since October 1st for this fiscal year. Those are individuals that have made it into the country right now, and we don't know where they're at, what their intentions are. And when you hear something like that from that individual in that video, you can only imagine now the type of people that are in the country right now that have been able to get away and that possibly want to cause harm to our country. The threat is here, and I've said that numerous times. The threat's already here, and that's why it's so important to have border security. But again, it all goes back to the policies and the fact that there is no consequences in place to discourage illegal border crossings.
Well, I just find it hard to believe that our federal government has a video. We know they can run facial recognition. If he's in a database, if he's a known terrorist, why we aren't talking about that? Why the public isn't being told who he is and to keep your eye out for this? It just kind of, again, goes under the wire, and nobody seems to care about it. And, we have enough problems. We don't need a terrorist attack on our shores as well.
You're right. That's the last thing we need, right? I mean, of course, but now with this whole situation for the last 3 years and the number of people that have made it into the country undetected, those threats are real. I mean, that's the clear reality of the situation. And it does go back to what the federal government has failed to do. And they could have changed this. They can change this, but they still refuse to do that. And when you see videos like that circulating, they know the threat is here. They know those type of threats are coming across. But as you mentioned, has anything been done to identify this individual? Probably not. And we probably won't know now, maybe days, weeks later, when they actually find out this individual is probably, wanted or maybe on the terror screening database. But by that time, it's too late. And that's happened in many cases. So that's why it all goes back to having a proper vetting process in place. But that's not being done right now because the agents are just overwhelmed. Resources are strained. And that's why you see this constant flow of people coming across the border unvetted.
Lieutenant Chris Olivarez, he is with the Texas Department of Public Safety. He's a spokesperson and bringing us the news that Texas is not standing down and not sitting down. Thank you so much, Lieutenant. I appreciate everything you guys do.
Appreciate you and the support. Thank you.
You got it. Bye-bye.